You know, I'm pretty certain, Ross, we have done more episodes this year
Yeah.
than we did last year.
I do believe so.
And we're only in May on top of it. In May of last year, we were starting this show. We were kind of like wondering where it was heading. I hear me. It's okay. It just shows how far behind. Oh, we got 3 viewers. Hey, we got 3. We got 4. And most of them are going to be... Oh, we got 5. Okay, let me get the sharing going real quick. And we're going to get this started. We got a big weekend coming up in one league, and we just had a big weekend in another league, Ross.
Yes, sir.
And what's that tell you? It means flag football is in full throttle right now.
Sure is.
And I have to say, it's only going to get better because while May is almost over and this weekend is practically going to be it for this month, June is looking really good.
Yeah.
But before we get to June, we have to finish May. Because we still got about one more week of May left. But first, am I connected? I'm connected to your Wi-Fi, and it said I was losing connection, Ross. What is happening?
I don't know.
That's bizarre. Okay.
That shouldn't happen.
Anyways, we're going to start out with Saturday. Ross, how was your Saturday?
It was okay.
It was okay? What'd you do Saturday?
T-ball game.
T-ball game?
My other home away from home over flag football. T-ball.
T-ball. That's a fun game. That's a fun game. I used to play T-ball too
Yeah.
when I was your age. Did you have any hits, Ross?
Yeah, my whole team hit. Everybody hit.
All you guys had hits?
Yeah.
Did you guys get as many hits as I did Saturday?
To them.
Ant Smith back May 19th. Hashtag stay tuned. Ooh, and making your season debut. About time, man. Glad to see you back on the field, buddy. Welcome back. Welcome back, Ant Smith. But let's talk about right now another Saturday in another place. Let's talk about the Keystone Flag Football League.
Talk about it.
The Keystone Flag Football League, final week of their regular season. And County guys, we'll get to you, I swear. We're going to start with Keystone first. Looking at the results of last week, the final week of the regular season. First and foremost, X-Dogs over Spartans 41-0. Yeah. Ugh. You could tell the Dogs might have been a little motivated for that one. They were ready for play. That was...
Sounds like it.
Yeah. And you just got to feel bad for the Spartans right now. Winless, and then they had to play the X-Dogs in the regular season, and just one-sided from start to finish.
Been there, done that, man.
I've been there before, especially with the X-Dogs. Second game of the day. Well, Ross, you were right. And Maddox and I were both wrong.
That's right.
The Immortals took it to the Browns. The official score is 30-8. I've seen it as 36-8. Makes no difference to me. The bottom line is it was one-sided. It wasn't close. The Immortals
I knew it.
establishing and sending a message to the league just before the playoffs of who they are once more. And you have to wonder, they're number one in the power rankings going into this game.
Was most even playing?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Most was there.
He got a touchdown, man.
Yeah, he did get a touchdown. Most got a score.
He got a tutty.
Speaking of Moats, what a weekend he's had when you really sitting back and think about it. What a month he's had, Ross. What a month you've had. We'll get to that a little later on, as we will have Sean Moats in for our prediction segment later tonight.
The meat of the bone here. The meat of the bone.
Looking over at the third game of the day, Killer Bees and Spartans, again, 28-0 this time.
Sure.
The Bees were definitely motivated. They had a tough doubleheader. They had to play their arch nemesis, the Ship Flip Gators, immediately after that game.
What happened?
7-0 from what I'm seeing here. Looks like it was just a straight-up defensive battle from start to finish between these two squads. The Gators, absolutely impressive defensively. One of the better defensive teams in the Keystone Flag Football League. They showed it again against the Killer Bees. And We talked about how this has been won by different teams, with the even number games being won by the Bees and the odd number by the Gators, or vice versa. Um, Gators broke that streak. They won back to back against the Bees now. They've swept the Bees for the season. It's not likely they'll face again because they're in different sides of the bracket. Unless the Bees make a run, they certainly can. This playoff coming up this weekend for the Keystone Flag Football League. They're doing 2 weeks. May 18th is going to be the first game, or the first round. Right now, it's a 6-team league. So the matchups will be the Spartans at number 6 overall, taking on the number 3 seed in that. That's going to be the Ship Flip Gators. The winner of that, in the case of, I believe, the Gators will be playing against the Immortals, which both sides want that matchup. There's been a lot of intensity up there. Spartans, on the other hand, if they win, I'm not sure how they do it up there. I believe they'll also play the Immortals. They are the low seed. They might do NFL style. Perhaps we can get Eric Carty on the show tonight to explain that. We're going to try to get a hold of him. He's part of the Killer Bees, for those who don't know. The other game going on in the playoffs is going to be the Killer Bees taking on the Browns. That game all season long, and both of these games, seems like the other team has had a big advantage over the other in the regular season. The Gators blew out the Spartans both times, but the Spartans told me they want that game. This was the game the Spartans won in the playoffs. I was on the sidelines during Gators-Browns, and all I could talk about was how much they wanted to play the Gators in the playoffs. So this game for the Spartans could be perhaps their Super Bowl. I mean,
like that.
Well, you think about it, Ross. Do you remember? And we're just talking about this game right now as a small preview. Do you remember back in 2017 when Top Gun had their run, when they went 0-9?
Yeah.
And then they upset the Ducks, and then they came and stunned the Spartans. Yeah. Not the Spartans from your league, our Spartans, Don Brown Spartans, in the league championship. Maybe the Spartans have some kind of Top Gun-esque run in them. They got a lot of there's a lot of spirit on that team. Those guys are competitors. They love to play. They're definitely ballers. I give them props. It's been hard. They haven't had the numbers all season. Hopefully they have all the numbers they need when they play this Gators team, who, once again, one of the better defensive teams in the league. Offense, they've put up points against them easily, so it's enough to win this game. We're going to have that prediction later on. We'll see about that matchup, as well as the Killer Bees and Browns. Both of those games, the first one not so lopsided, 14-6. The second one was a blowout. It was, I believe it was 20-0. Browns over Bees. I may be wrong on that. Forgive me, Bees, if I am wrong on that. The Browns have had their way with the Bees in this season. Skaters have had their way over the Spartans this season. It remains to be seen what each side can do. We're going to get a word from as many people as we can on all sides tonight from this tournament coming up, at least from the 4 teams that are playing this weekend. Reading over the comments. Immortals going to trash Ship Flip unless that O-line got somebody who's going to stop Jonathan Gist coming in. I'm going to go, okay. I mean, I definitely can see what you're saying, Ant. Yeah. That Immortals line is good. They are extremely good. I think their line is better than the X-Dogs on both sides with how they've been playing. Because it's not just who they got, it's how they're playing as a team right now. They got a lot of spirit, they got a lot of momentum. They definitely have numbers. They definitely have talent. They're deep. This is a really good Immortals team. We'll see how they do in the playoffs. The Immortals are going to be on a bye. They're the 2 seed overall. The number 1 seed will be the X-Dogs. They're also on a bye. The X-Dogs trying to retain from last spring. They didn't play in the fall, but they want to at least win it back this spring after missing the fall. They suffered their first loss a few weeks ago to the Immortals. So you have to wonder where that team is going to be come playoff time. There's a lot of time off between games. Those teams won't be back, as we have an autofocus issue. They will not be back until right around June 1st when the championship game is scheduled to be. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, Peter Ship Flip, don't get some suicides on the road line. Going to be interesting. Yeah. No, if Ship Flip does get deeper line, it'll be much interesting because their interior is what costs them a lot. I saw that in the Immortals game, the difference in lines between what the Immortals were doing and what the Gators were doing. That defensive line is great all game. But for now, however, we have a man who, for you guys in Washington County, plays for the Railroaders, and for you guys in Keystone, plays for the Spartans. Cody Strakonsky, welcome to the show, buddy. We met I met you a while back on the field. Saw you in Keystone for the first time when I was up there a few weeks ago for the first game between the Spartans and the Killer Bees. You guys, right now, it's been a long season. The numbers haven't been there, but I'll tell you, I was with you all a few weeks ago. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of spirit. Seems like you guys have some confidence going into this playoff.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we all enjoy playing together, and like you said, it's a numbers game, and the people we have that show up every week, it'll come together eventually. So, I mean, it's a work in progress, but we had a rough fall and a rough spring, but it should come together.
So this is your third season with the franchise so far, Cody?
This will be the end of my second. I played in the fall.
Second, okay.
Yeah. So this coming fall will be my third.
What has been the biggest thing keeping you guys going? Because this has been a very rough slate for a team to go through. It's been over a year since the last franchise win, but here you guys are. You're still together. What is it? Is it one for the game? Is it unity? Is this a brotherhood? Is this a core together that can build? What is it?
It's definitely a core together that can build, but I think it's more of everybody gets along. I mean, we like to go out. We like to play. We might not win, but we enjoy going out there and getting the crap kicked out of us every week. I don't know what it is, but we love it.
And it's, that love for the game, that passion for the game. And it's a lot of it. And Cody, I've been involved in a lot of losing teams. I know I know you are currently too. That's got to be tough on Saturday and Sunday, especially after the basketball yesterday.
I have not gotten to make my Brunswick debut yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, I've been hard time keeping track of who's been there and whatnot for everything, so I wasn't sure.
Nah, busy on Sundays, but
busy on Sundays, gotcha.
Once Keystone's over, I should be there every weekend.
Oh, so you'll be there sometime soon?
Absolutely.
We'll be glad to have you down here in county. But for Keystone-wise, Spartans, no points put on the board in the last few weeks. Do you think you're going to have more this weekend? Will the whole team show up, or do you feel like it's going to be the same?
I'm trying to think of the most people we've had all year. I think it was our first game. I think there was like 13 or 14 people. I think we'll pull in about that, 12 to 13. But a lot of our stuff is just guys that we've picked up. They've never played organized football before, and I mean, those guys that have never played organized football before, they come out. I'll give them that, but it's size and experience. It's just something we have to work on this summer.
Yeah, and there's plenty of time to recruit for certain, especially with all the talent in this area and a lot of connections you can make along the way playing in both leagues that you're in right now. So you can confirm the Spartans will be back for the fall.
What's that? You
can confirm the Spartans will be back for the fall?
We will be back in the fall, yes.
Awesome. That is good to hear. No, that is really good to hear. I'm glad you guys are sticking it out. It's tough when you're losing. Trust me. I've been there. Ross, you've been there before. It is hard to get a winning team going, but if you just get the right people involved, you keep that core, you keep that same fighting spirit you got right now, you can win in the long run. And I know you guys want the Ship Flip Gators. What is so unique about the Gators that you guys want them more than any other team?
From my point of view, I feel like size-wise, they are most evenly matched to where we're at. Experience might not, but size, if we have some guys that'll fight, the size is about the same, and the rest of the stuff will come together.
Yeah, and I feel like this matchup for you guys has potential. If you go out there giving your best fight, because you got nothing to lose at this point. This is basically it. It's do or die. Yes. And if you could take advantage of the Ship Flip offensive line issue that I noticed up front with them,
and be able to hold on to the ball long enough, I feel like you can grind out a victory.
I do as well, and from what I heard, Kenny has some hamstring issues. So if it's a different quarterback, we have added a few more people, and I feel like we can really apply some pressure on that line. Cause somewhat of a problem.
Yeah, I think so too, and I feel like this could be interesting early on. I feel like your best bet though is to try to play possession. If you can move the ball just enough while keeping their offense off the field, getting a win on that chip flip defense is big. That defense is actually good. They have a good defense, in my opinion, for Keystone.
Absolutely.
They're
Actually,
the ones up there.
one of their better defensive players, I work with his dad, and I talk shit to his dad all the time. And it's been the same outcome both weeks. But one of these weeks it'll come around.
Hey, it can happen this week. I mean, you could look. Anything could go on. Rain could come down the field. You could have turnovers. Anything goes happen. It's football. I've seen it before. I told a story of Top Gun earlier. They were 0-9 when they upset my West Virginia Ducks team I was playing on, and we were the favorite to win B bracket that year. They were 0-9 and beat us with 12 guys, and then they went on to win B bracket a week later.
It happens. I mean, at least if we do only have 9, at least we've done it once before and we know what to expect from it. But I definitely think we'll have a good turnout this week.
I think so too. Playoff season, yeah, and playoff season brings out the best in everybody, especially after a long year.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And if the locker room is in the place you say it's in right now, where they're willing to come back next fall through everything they've been through, that to me is a sign of a team that's ready to compete.
We're getting there,
and I feel like you will in due time. I just want to get your prediction, however, before we cut it off. Who do you think is going to take this Browns-Bees game in the other half of the bracket?
I'm going to go with the Browns. Browns over the Bees.
Browns over the Bees? All right, Cody's got Browns over the Bees. Well, Cody, thank you for joining us tonight. We look forward to having you on again in the future. I look forward to seeing you not just in Keystone, but on Sundays in County as well coming up. Will you be happy to be there this Sunday, or we have to wait another week for you?
Wife, am I allowed to go play football Sunday? Yep, I'll be there.
All right, Cody Strakonski will
there.
be making his county debut this Sunday.
I'll be there.
Man. All right.
Thanks, Joey.
You're welcome, Cody.
We love you, Joey. Never forget that.
Thank you. We love you. I love you too, man, and all you guys. As we both try to find – okay, we were both literally trying to find where the thing was. That was funny to X each other out. Cody Strakonski joining us at the Spartans, and that's the Brunswick spirit right there. He loves the game right there. I could tell. No, that's a good attitude to have in that locker room. Too many guys get upset when they start losing, and they get too flustered. They forget that this is all a game. This is something we go out and do on Sundays and Saturdays and whatnot. As I check my messages real quick. All right. Speaking of that other game, if I can get them on real quick. But talking over there to Strakonski earlier, the Spartans, they're coming back already. They've lost for a year. But first, we got Corey Jones on now for the Browns.
Sorry I delayed you there, Joey.
No, it's all good, man. I'm used to it. I was able to squeeze in the interview with Cody, which I wanted to get, so we're all good there.
Okay.
So Cody picked you guys to win on Saturday against the Killer Bees. What are your thoughts against this Bees team on Saturday? It'd be the third time you've played them this year, and you guys got better in between games. I could tell that by the final score and results and how you guys came out against the Gators. What are your thoughts going into this game on Saturday?
Playoff game, so records are out the window now. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. I know Eric will have his guys ready, so we got to come out ready to go.
Will you have your guys ready to go, though? Is this going to be a full Browns roster, or will you be missing a few pieces?
I think only all but 3 guys will be there, so we should have over 20 guys there ready to play.
All right. The final record for the year, 5-5, I believe.
4-6.
4-6. Hey, how do you got to feel good though after the way last spring went, the first season, not what you expected, not what you wanted. but this second season, you guys really took off. And if not for the ship flip game, you're sitting there at 4-5, and I know, or not 4, or 5-5 rather. And that's a really good year to have after going winless. To go from winless to having a similar record to what the Cleveland Browns did in the NFL this year. So you guys really did have your own Brown story there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, guys really worked hard. Got to give them the credit. Guys putting in the time. We're still not where we want to be on offense. Our defense, I think, is coming along. We had 4 picks the other day versus the Immortals. We just couldn't punch it in with 10 guys. So the defense is there. We gotta get the offense fine-tuned for this week.
Yeah, and that's going to be the biggest key. This beat against the Bees team, which you guys had more success against the last time around. I feel like you're going to have a better grasp in this one. However, the Bees will bring numbers. Their sideline is usually full. I'm pretty impressed by that fact. Does that depth concern you at all for this weekend, or do you feel like your 20 can handle their 38 once more?
I think we can play with them. I am a little concerned. Like I said, I know they'll be fired up, ready to go. They've been awfully close in their last couple losses. They played the Gators really tough Saturday. I think it was 7-0. So I'm not sure who's going to start at quarterback for Eric. That's always a mystery. He's running a bunch of them out there. So we'll see. But I know Eric will be ready. He'll have the Bees ready. They'll be out for blood because they don't want to lose to us 3 times. But we'll match the intensity. I'm for sure on that.
For certain. What are your thoughts going into this Gator Spartans matchup in the other half of the bracket?
You said Spartans Gators. I lost you.
Yeah. I was asking your thoughts on that matchup in the other half of the bracket.
Spartans play their ass off every week. They do play hard. Tom's a little short on roster size. I think it's a close game in the first half, but I like the Gators by 10 when it's all said and done.
Gators by 10 when it's all said and done? Okay. Going back to the Browns game real quick, like you said earlier, 4-6 on the year, the improvement you have every year. Do you feel like this team is ready to take that next step to the championship level? Because you make playoffs no matter what, but taking that postseason step is big. Because the postseason, it is way different than it is in the regular season.
Definitely, everybody's fired up. Last year we were an 0-10 team, and we took the Gators to the last possession as the 6th seed and lost on a heartbreaking call in the back of the end zone. Kenny threw a nice touchdown pass. I know if we win, we got the X-Dogs, and a lot of people won't believe me when I say this, but I think we can hang with them, especially on the defensive side. We just got to click on offense. I think the running game's there. Our passing game's what worries me. But I think we are ready to take the next step, even looking towards next year, which I don't want to do because we still got playoffs. We changed just a couple things, and I think we'll be right getting closer to that echelon. I think we're right there with the Gators now. Still a step behind the top 2 teams, but we can play with anybody.
I think so as well, and I really look forward to seeing what you guys can do on Saturday against the Killer Bees, and I hope to be able to make my way up to Keystone in a few weeks for Championship Saturday. That's going to be, for those who don't know, June 1st, I believe, is Championship Saturday. It's going to be the semis at 9 and 10:30, and then at noon is going to be the championship game. Yeah. So we'll look forward to seeing that. Anything else tonight, Corey, you got?
No, I just think the Keystone had a pretty good season. Should be competitive. As you know, the favorites might not make a lot of friends on this, but right now I think the Immortals are the best team in the league. Their lines, I experienced Jonathan Gist firsthand, man to man on Saturday. Their lines are legit. Better than the X-Dogs right now, I think. So I think the Immortals are the favorites going into the playoffs.
So you got Immortals as your favorite. Let me hold off on mine because let me tell you, you saw my power rankings last week. I liked Immortals, but I was trying to give you all some kind of love against that game. I was surprised by the result. I didn't think it was going to get as lopsided as it did. Can you give me an insight on what went down on that one?
16-8 at halftime. Second half, it was 16-8 to about the 3-minute mark in the fourth quarter. They scored a touchdown. We turned it over on downs. They scored another touchdown. So they scored 2 late touchdowns, but it was close for 3 quarters and a half. We were playing no excuses. They beat us pretty good. We only had about 11 guys there, so I had to play the whole game almost. So that should tell you.
Yeah, it's got to be rough. Oh, especially against that Immortals team. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Are you okay? Do you need anything?
I'm okay. I just got Gist hunting me out on a screenplay, so my ribs are still feeling that a little bit today.
I can imagine. Getting hit by chili is not fun from what I've been told. And given
Sean
Corey-
Moats ain't no fun either.
Oh, yeah. Ross, you're probably happy to be on the same side of the ball as Sean is in flag football.
I remember when I wasn't on the same side.
And it wasn't fun, was it?
Hell no.
Trust me, he's one of the guys that you want on your side at every time. And definitely for certain. But thank you, Corey, once more for joining us.
Problem.
Any chance we'll see you in County, man? I'd like to see you come play some on Sunday after the season's done.
Somebody wants me, I can give you line def. That's about it.
Line Def? All right, I'll put that out there. Corey Jones for the Line Def. I may have lost him, though, because he's frozen right now on the stream. All right, Corey, I'm going to cut it. All right, Corey Jones joining us. I think his phone freezed or something. I don't know what went wrong there. But he seems
A lot this year. They got the one biggest key, and that's the trenches. Their trench team, the guys in the line interior are really good. That's been the one biggest key. The offense has not been consistent, but they are fighters. They will play tough. They're almost a dark horse when you think about it in this championship coming up. They're a team no one's really thinking about. I think so, at least. If I would make a dark horse pick, it's the Browns. Because I feel like they're the team who can make some kind of small run. I don't think, at least I'm not 100% certain they'll get to the finals, but there's some kind of, I can see it. Yeah, I can totally see it. It's football, any given Saturday. And they have enough fight in them that they're not. Bad service, Corey? Yeah, I figured as much. I figured I'd cut it off there. That service has been our biggest plague every time. So I completely understand that. Looking around at this playoff round, Ross. Spartans and Gators, as we move on to the predictions portion. What do you think going into this matchup?
Spartans Gators?
Yeah.
Gators.
Yeah, Gators.
I like Spartans Heart, though.
That's what it said. That interview we had with Cody was excellent. I was really glad to hear from him.
But Gators. You have to go Gators.
You got to go Gators. Me personally, I feel like the Gators defense is going to get the stops they need.
Yeah.
If they just simply take advantage of the depth and numbers and the mismatch and all that, they'll be able to pound them and run it down. However, I can see the Spartans playing up and keeping it close early on. They mentioned that they've been wanting this game with Ship Flip. I feel like they're going to play them close enough. I feel like it's going to be close for about 2, maybe 3 quarters.
Right.
But I think Gators pull away to make it something like 13-0, maybe 20-0, around that ballpark.
Yeah.
I'm not certain if the Spartans' offense can score against them, but I feel like if they can sustain long drives and get at least 1 or 2 scores while playing defense against that Gators offensive line, that's somewhat their weak point on offense, especially with, I believe, their quarterback's been injured too, from what I was hearing in that interview. So, going to be an interesting game on Saturday between Gators and Spartans, but I feel like the Gators pull it out.
Yeah.
But it's going to be closer than what.
The score actually shows.
Yeah, you'll see a fight from the Spartans for sure.
Yep.
And I saw that fight when I was on the field with them back in March when they took on the Killer Bees. So they definitely got it.
Yeah.
The other game, however, Killer Bees and Browns, speaking of which, we just heard from Corey Jones how good this Browns team is. But the Bees are deeper in numbers. They got some guys who are experienced in playing in the postseason. I believe Cranfield from Program is on their team. He's got a lot of experience. JR Jr. does. I feel like that Killer Bees team, they won the league last year. They're going to have the fight to come out this year. This is going to be a much closer game than what it's been. I feel like the Bees will put it. Bees Browns, yeah. I'm not going Bees over Browns. I'm not going to say that yet.
Okay.
But I feel like it's going to be a much more competitive game. They got the numbers advantage. They got the experience.
Probably going to be the best game of the day.
I feel like the Browns will come out spirited. I feel like they're going to come out there and there's going to be a fight from start to finish. But in the end, the Browns will get their first playoff win over the defending league champion. And right there will be a huge boost to that team. Because that's a big confidence boost. They did, to be fair, they would have beaten the league champions in the playoffs.
Right.
They dethroned the champ. And then they got to go up against the spring champ next week. Is that not a Cinderella story to make it potentially?
I've been rooting for the Browns all season, but I'm going bees in this one.
You're going bees.
Yeah.
Okay. Ross has bees.
I feel
I
like-
have Browns.
I feel like because bees,
I have Browns too.
Maddox has the Browns.
to me, it seems like the bees have been putting that roster together all season
Yeah.
of different people in and out, and then people start showing up because of the playoffs.
I mean,
The bees might be able to get it done.
yeah. I mean, I can see it. They definitely have the team for it. I can't see them not being close to winning a game or putting up a fight. I just feel like this Browns team, they're going to come out more spirited. They're going to come out more ready.
The Browns play like they did against the Gators.
Or they played the last month, really.
That was the Gators, right?
Gators, and they had their way with the Bees 2 weeks ago.
Double overtime game, right?
Yeah. If that team, the teams that want to come out is that one,
That'll probably be the best game of the day, I think.
Browns and Bees, I think so too. I think it's gonna be a better matchup, and I feel like it's gonna come down to the very end. But I do feel
Come
like,
down to that one play or whatever.
yeah, I feel like the Browns pull away though in the fourth. That one play is a pull away play. That makes a difference. It changes everything else up. So I got Browns and Gators. Ross has Gators and Bees. Maddox has Browns, but he didn't make a prediction on Gators Spartans. I have to know though.
Spartans.
You got Spartans?
I like it.
Maddox has picked the Spartans over the Gators. All right. So Maddox has Spartans. So to finish that recap on there, I got Browns and Gators. Ross has Gators and Bees. Maddox has Spartans and Browns. What I want to know is what this guy's got. He's not playing this weekend. At least he's not playing in the Keystone Flag Football League. He'll be playing on Sundays for the next couple weeks. Joey Blaze, you see what happened when you went against Ruckus? What are you talking about when I went against Ruckus, Cash Curry? I chose Ruckus, silly. Coming for the Gators? Oh yeah. I think you guys are gonna give them a dogfight. That's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be an underrated. It's a shame. Only 2 games on Saturday in Keystone. They're gonna play the 1 seed, the 2 seed all play June 1st. And then the championship will be right after that. So that's the idea of the playoff schedule. Hey, there's our guy.
What's up?
Nothing much, Sean. Welcome back to the show. Ross, Maddox, and I were just talking about the predictions for the playoffs. Who do you got in these 2 games coming up between Gators Spartans and Browns Bees?
As much as I love the Spartans and I love the fight they put up, I got to go Gators. Spartans, man, fucking props to them for sticking it out, man. Like, there's been weeks where they've had 8 people and they still go out there and play. Like, that's you got to respect that. You know, they love playing ball, and like Cody was saying, you know, I think they once they get a good core, I think they'll do some recruiting, and you know, they'll come around. It's hard to see what happens in fall, but if I had to early prediction, I bet you they win 3 games next fall. Well, this fall,
3
whatever you
games?
wanna call it. Yeah, I'll give them 3.
I can see it. I mean, they got the core, they got the spirit, they got the fight to go out there and do it. This is their worst. They've hit bottom. This is bottom. They're going to go
Hell
up
yeah.
right now. They're still alive. You've seen it. We're about to get there, Thad. But you've seen it before, Sean, where teams will struggle profusely, and then it just all collapse. We've seen good teams collapse when they
Yeah,
struggle.
yeah, it happens.
You didn't you once see a team broke out in a fist fight on your own sideline?
You got to be more specific.
Classic.
But yeah, Gators win that one. You know, their lines are suspect. Everybody knows that, but they've got some athletes. You know, if Spartans want to win this game, rush 4, go man. There you go. That's your recipe right there.
Yeah.
That's it. Hang on one second. I'm trying to get you on something else here. Second game was it Bees Browns, right?
Mm-hmm.
All depends on who shows up for each squad. Like I've seen the Bees have a fucking army on the sidelines and seen the Browns have, 12, 13 guys. They were short against us last week, and they played us damn tough. Like, that score doesn't reflect how tough they played us. Like Corey said, it was a one-score game going into the half. So shout out to them, man. Like, they hung in there. Like, they played us really tough. They had a hell of an athlete at quarterback, and I think that's the same dude. I think he had 3 picks. Like, he was everywhere on that field. So that dude's balling out. But
I think it was was it the same guy who played for them against the Gators? Did you watch that game by chance?
I'm not sure. But yeah, he impressed me, man. Like, I thought I had him dead to rights in the pocket quite a few times, and he snuck out. Like, he's quick, and if you miss him, he's downfield. Like, he's easily picking up 10, 15 yards. So you got to make that first pull.
Mm-hmm.
But Bees, though, like, they had, like Corey said, you'd never know who's playing quarterback for them. Like, they had dude that I've seen in county playing quarterback this week, and that dude can sling the ball. So it's all depends on who shows up, man. But I think as much as I love the Browns, I think I got to go Bees just because they've been there before. Like, they've got the experience of winning it. I think they
Really?
What's he saying?
He says he's got a feeling about it too. Ross says he feels like the Bees may take it.
Yeah, I mean, the Bees they've hoisted that trophy. They've got the experience. I honestly don't even think the depth comes into play because you can dress 40 guys if you want, but 20 of them just might be trash. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but you just got to have the right 9 on the field. Like, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, no, big facts.
So that's what it is there. But I think Bees win. It'll be close, but I think they win by 6.
Bees by 6? All right. So Sean's got Bees by 6. He's also got the Gators, so that's my prediction for Keystone. So now I got to ask the question, gentlemen. How was your Sunday?
Dude, felt great.
I
That
can
was great.
imagine. Tell us about your Sunday, Moats.
It was wet, first of all.
Actually, tell us about your weekend.
Not in a good way.
You had a pick 2 this weekend.
What's up?
You had a pick 6 this weekend. Is that correct?
No pick 6, but I had my first career receiving touchdown. That's
Oh,
what I had.
okay. Well, that's where I got mixed up at. Okay.
Yeah,
That's where I got
don't
mixed
try to
up
short
in.
me here.
All right. First
I had 2
touchdown.
catches, actually. Yep, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to contribute.
Run us through that play, man. What happened?
We were in the red zone. I ran tight end. We were a little light on people this week, so I got to start there. I just think I'm not going to beat anybody downfield. Like, chip and release, that's all I do. And, Tay saw it. Nobody covered me because I'd stayed in the block most of the time and pretty much had a free run to the end zone. Gave the safety a nice little stiff arm, but probably like a 12-yard touchdown, I'd say.
Nice. That's
Didn't know how to celebrate,
but
yeah, didn't know how to celebrate, so I just handed the ball to Brian. There you go.
No, that's got to be a good feeling. That's got to be a good feeling to get that touchdown.
Oh yeah, man, it felt cool. Like, it's
You've
hell
been
yeah.
this
Like,
close
I've always
how many times this year.
Twice, yeah.
So
It's crazy.
that's
Like,
crazy.
but I've always had hands, and I used to play running back and safety back when I was smaller in school. So, like, I have the hands, I have the IQ, I just know where to be, and it's a shame that I'm getting fat and not as fast as I used to be, but it is what it is.
I feel you on that, Sean. I definitely feel you on that.
But yeah, Washington County felt awesome because we beat Ruckus, shut them out. We've never beat them before, and hell yeah, that's 2 teams now in 2 weeks that we've beaten that we've never beat before, so it feels pretty great. And through shutouts.
Yeah, what a weekend it was for the Warriors. The Bassford Heritage Bowl went down yesterday, actually. I forget, this is a Monday night show, but for once. Let's recap that real quickly. We'll start with the first game. It was Ruckus over the Railroaders, 21-7. Ruckus absolutely dominated Brunswick from start to finish in that game. The defense, once again, outstanding against that Railroaders offensive attack, who just could not get the ball going until the fourth quarter when they finally ended their nearly 1 month scoreless streak. Brunswick had struggled to get on the scoreboard, but they finally did toward the end. It actually got a little suspenseful there. It was 13-7 with 6 minutes to go, and I was wondering if the Railroaders could mount a comeback. However, Steven Renner put it away one more time with a pass at the end of the game to seal the deal, as Ruckus took it 21-7 over the Railroaders. And I sat there and thought, man, this is a really good Ruckus team right now. They're on a roll. Steven Renner might be the second best quarterback behind Clancy in this league.
How about that?
And I said, I was like, this Ruckus team has something. I don't know if the Warriors can beat them, but it's going to be a great game for certain. And then you guys,
And then what happened, Joey?
I'm not going to lie, this team came together. This team came together in the biggest way on Sunday. This Warriors
think
team, this is not the team we saw a month ago.
No. We're finally learning, we've got some new pieces. We're finally learning how to play with each other. Pause, no homo, whatever you want to say. We're finally learning how to, just put it together and scheme well. Like, everybody's got to do their job, not D-line wise, we've got some dogs. We all want that sack, but now we're figuring out that, we can't all get there. Like, our game plan was to keep Renner in the box and make him beat us with his arm. We did that. He broke out one time on a rush. Like, I'm fine with that, but we contained him. Our D-line killed in that game. And we rotated in and out. We had, I think there was 6 of us rotating in and out. So we were deep, but we all did our job. Like, we all had the same assignment. We didn't fuck up. It was awesome, man. It was cool to see the subs get in there and eat. They did their part too, man. We got some young guys eating too, like Sam Haynes, Matt Herron. I think they both had a sack maybe, but they just know where to be. And anytime you got to deal with, Brock, Cam, and myself wearing you out, and then you get these guys coming in, and good luck trying to stop Ryan Lewis' squirrely ass coming off the edge, because that dude, I don't even know how to describe him, man. MVP.
Where did Ryan Lewis come from in flag football? My goodness.
Ryan Lewis wears a bandana that says Trench Life, but he's catching 50-yard post pass for touchdown. It's insane. The dude is just, I don't even know. It's ridiculous.
We saw yesterday the emergence of this Warriors offense in that first game against Ruckus. Ruckus, one of the better defenses that we normally see in County, was just absolutely thrown away by how this Warriors team came out. Snavely shredded them using Eli, using CJ, using Zach Ruby, using Ryan Lewis of all people.
Doesn't matter, man. He ran a complete offense. We can put anybody in there, and they're gonna have success. Might not be one guy doing all the damage, but everybody's gonna have a big play here and there. Like, Cash, he comes out, he'll make a big play. Ruby will come down. Even Foster gets in the mix, and he'll make a big play down the middle. So it's, it's looking good. And Snavely's got the confidence. He's riding high, and you can tell, like, he's got the swag now. Like, he hangs in there and he throws dimes. Couldn't believe it.
And how about Cody Snavely? We talk about he came back from all he went through injury-wise. He's playing on a level, probably the best he's ever played at that position at quarterback. I've known Snavely since I was in middle school. It's been over 15 years now. I played with him as far back as 05. And from that position, this is the best he's ever looked. And he really showed it in this game with getting away from the pass rush when they had him dead to rights, both Railroaders and Ruckus. And we'll get to that second game in a moment. But Snavely would just step out of the pocket, and he'll find Eli open, or he'll just heave it up, and there's Ruby, and there's Louie.
And Eli, man, Eli looks like he should be at home watching the damn NASCAR race, but he's out there shredding the middle up. He looks like the world's biggest Dale Jarrett fan.
He looks nothing like my mother, sir. That is an insult.
I said I have called him Hagerstown's Jason Momoa, and I think that's gonna stick.
Hagerstown Momoa. I like that. That's gotta stick. You gotta keep that.
Love that guy, man. He's not flashy, but he's gonna catch the ball. Might not look pretty, but he's gonna catch the ball and he's gonna get the first down. That dude's a first down machine.
And he emerged from that position this week. A lot of this Warriors team looked like a complete team this weekend. I won't say I'm not disparaging last weekend's performance. That program game was surprising and impressive. I'm still shocked at that game and how it went. But the way you guys looked in the Bassford Heritage Bowl looked like a playoff team that was ready to take that next step.
We were also missing some, pretty big time players too. So to
Is
go
there
out
more
and
coming? Because there's more coming.
they've all been there. They've all been there, but we didn't have Polo yesterday. That's no secret. Jutt Gerhardt wasn't there. We were missing a starting corner. So it's with us, man. It's always next man up, and I think we finally have a good system in place, and we trust each other, and we can go make plays. So it's cool when we do have all those studs there, but we'll rock with what we got. Best 9, man. That's how you gotta do it.
And sometimes that's all you need. And that's all you guys needed on Sunday. You guys went out there, your best 9 gave it to their best 9, Ruckus and Railroaders. The combined score of those games, 49-6. Plus 43.
We're usually on the receiving end of that.
Our offense is supposed to score points, remember?
You guys aren't. You guys had one of the worst offenses in the league going into this.
We're not even supposed to win games.
I was a little shocked with how the Ruckus game went down.
I was too.
That's traditionally, historically, those games with them are always tough. They're not, they're not fun games to watch. It's usually within a score. We, like I said, we just did our job. We stuck to our game plan, and it worked. I mean, I don't think they got across the 50-yard line on offense. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I was counting how many 3-and-outs they had, and I don't have that many fingers.
I think they had once, and that was it. You guys stopped them as soon as they got across.
Yeah.
You all were just absolutely dominant in that game. And in the Railroaders game, you guys just took it up to the next level and gave it to them from start to finish. This was...
God damn it. I'm trying to hide this shit, but I can't.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of hard to hide.
So for those who don't know, I broke my thumb in that second game. So I'm still playing. I've already talked to the captains. You're not allowed to block me anymore because of the injury. So it's don't touch me. Red shirt.
Put that Survivor's green shirt on for that one. That way they'll know.
Yeah, medically exempt. But
For sure.
Which game you want to diagnose here? The Brunswick game, they came out. They did exactly what we thought they would. Try to run the ball. Their quarterback, I'll give him that. He made some plays with his feet. He got out of the pocket, and I think we got away from our game plan because, going up against Renner was the same style. We wanted to keep him in the pocket, but, the Brunswick quarterback, he'd take off up the middle. And their O-line, they're pretty tough. Like, they want to bring, they want to bring the blocking to you. So it was a physical game up front. It's always going to be physical. I mean, that's how I fucking broke my thumb, so.
And that's actually a shame that you got injured on that one. So would you be out for this week, or are you going to try something? I've seen the giant cast before on the hand. I think didn't Cuzzo have that last year? Like
Cuzzo had a what the hell? He was in something crazy because I think he had something wrong with his bicep.
Yeah,
like
I mean, you get like something like that on their worst case.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's really not that bad. Like this is the 5th time I've broken this thing. I've needed surgery before. Right now it's just swollen. So I'm trying to deal with it, but as of right now, questionable. We'll see.
All right.
But I will definitely be back June 1st for playoffs in Keystone, and I think we have a month off for county. I'll be back then, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, after this week, you guys have a long layoff. Actually,
Yeah.
but you get your workout in between, Ross. I know you got Virginia Beach, and Sean, you got Keystone playoffs coming up on the first. But first,
Well,
yeah. But first, before we look at the schedule for this week, as we move along here, congratulations once again to the Warriors for their victories. The difference, the D line, the offense finally clicking and coming to light. If this is the team the Warriors are going to have the rest of the season, look out. Because this is a squad that can go out there and play. That being said, I can't put you guys at number one for obvious reasons.
You obviously can't put us number one.
I just
I
want to
would
put that
be
disclaimer out there. I'm going to put that disclaimer out there before people start saying, why are you hyping up Warriors?
over here, we're
So I have to cut you off.
Yeah, cut me off?
I saw those stats you posted of like the scoring offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
ADR is dominating everyone.
Well,
Like I knew they were killing it, but I didn't realize just how bad it was. I mean,
we're actually going to touch on that in a moment, the power rankings.
go ahead.
But first, we're going to start with number 7, our old friend, the Railroaders, 0-5. The train has gone off the rails. Won't you say, boys?
That bitch has been decommissioned.
It's like the old rail line around this area when they decommissioned that way back in the 60s when they built 67. Looking over at number 6 now, Red Knights 1-3. Thankfully, they were off this week. So Andy got a chance to rest up. Hopefully, they'll come out with the same kind of fight, though, against the Warriors in a few weeks they had earlier in the season. Do they play Ruckus before you? Oh, okay. That's going to be – oh, yeah, I see it on my notes now. Oh, that's going to be an interesting doubleheader. Number 5, speaking of which, Ruckus, 2-3 now is Ruckus. They have a losing record midway through the season. For the first time, I want to say, since the fall of 2016. It's been a while. They've been usually one of the better teams in our league. But right now, 2-3 is the record. And that's spot number 5 in the power rankings. You have to wonder, can this team make it far in the postseason? But they have Steven Renner. Renner can sling it. It's just a question seems to be when they play against better defensive lines is when they struggle. ADR gave them problems. Program gave them problems. You guys gave them problems.
Warriors.
3 teams with 3 of the best defensive lines in the league have absolutely annihilated that Ruckus offense. Could that be the killer? You look at the 2 wins, Railroaders and Broad Axe. The Broad Axe one's an outlier. They played over their head in that game, you could argue. And the Railroaders, not so much. So you got to wonder about this Ruckus team. I had them last week number 2 because they had a lot of momentum. And if they had won the Bassman Bowl, they would have kept it. But right now, 3-3? What's your third? What's their third? Damien, that's where you're 2-3. Maybe you're 3-3. I don't know. He did call me a dummy.
Dummy.
Yeah, that's a new way to spell dummy. I'll give him props. I've never seen that one.
Oh yeah, they did beat us. That's right. They beat us. They beat us week 2.
The first Warriors game.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the?
That shit don't count.
Hold up. Let me. Hold up. Thanks for reminding me of that first game, Damien. Because what a 180 between games. That game a month ago was an absolute disaster for you. But that game was a turning point for both sides.
I got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, you were kicked out of the game. Ruckus established the quarterback that day. You guys just had an awful day on so many levels, and I sat there wondering if this Warriors team was going to last the season. And here we are a month later, and we'll get to that in a moment. So Ruckus is actually 3-3, but yeah. So okay, my bad, Damien. Thanks for reminding me the first game. 3-3 on the year. They looked good in the 3 wins they've had, but in the 3 losses, that offense has looked absolutely bad. They've been awful. They've been offensive in the 3 losses. But in the 3 wins, 18, 20, 21. 3 losses, 0-6-0. Got to wonder if that trench war is starting to become a factor for Ruckus right now. If the trenches is their weak spot. Looking over at number 4 right now is Broadaxe. 2-2 on the year. They're off this week. They have a chance to regain that momentum. They'll play the program on Sunday, who I have at number 3, 3-2 on the year. The program is off this week. And shooting to number 2 is the only team this month with 3 wins. They are, which makes them technically the second hottest team in the league. I didn't think we'd be here when I put you guys at 7th, entering the month of May. From 7th to 2nd. In just 2 weeks, the Warriors.
Come out and play, baby. Come out and play.
And you guys have come out and play indeed. Anybody who could talk about what went down in April doesn't matter anymore. They didn't have the guys in April they have now. The rest of the team has arrived.
We're still onward and upward, though.
You guys have shot up.
Make no mistake about that. We're not done.
And that's the thing. You guys were certain as this season goes, as this season wraps up for you guys on Sunday,
We got 2 games coming up.
you have a chance to earn 5 wins in a 3-week span, which will be as many as you won in your record-breaking spring season. Perspective.
Awesome.
What a month for this Warriors team.
I love it.
The offense has found its rhythm. The defense is deep in its pass rush. You guys have stars all over the field. Alex Foster, props to him for his in that Brunswick game. He had Privet figured out all game. He almost had a 3rd pick running the route the receiver was supposed to run.
Yeah. If you want, I honestly think that our success is based off Alex Foster, man. Like, that dude knows the game.
Very
For
smart
once,
player.
we're finally experienced as far as football IQ on the line, linebacker, and secondary position. Like, I
Talking
really
about,
think that's making the difference.
yeah.
Is
You
it's,
look at
you know,
Tyler
it's-
Spencer coming in from ADR
Tyler
to play for you
Spencer.
guys.
Yeah, Tyler Spencer's been in this league a long time. He knows the game. I love playing alongside that dude, man. I used to hate playing against him, but when he's on your squad, it's awesome because he knows where to be. He's gonna talk his shit. He's gonna get in your head, but last week he had a rough game against ADR, but he definitely came back and made some plays this week. So shout out to Tyler, man. The dude, he balls.
Yeah. And you look around, you guys still have Jutt. You guys brought in your buddy Ruby from Keystone from the Immortals. He came down. He had his first touchdown on Sunday.
Ruby had 2 touchdowns in that Brunswick
2
game.
touchdowns, yeah.
Yep.
And I think he almost had a 3rd one, but he said his flags were off on that. He had 1 flag off and he was
Yeah,
touched down on it.
That's what happens when you make friends, man. You got to recruit in this league. Like, Ruby's young, man. He just turned 21, so
Oh, my
he's
goodness.
he's still learning the game. So he said he wanted to play more, and I said, come down to Hagerstown, man. We'll get you in. And the dude's producing. Like, he's a team player, man.
Yeah.
No drama. Love it.
I met him on the Immortals 2 months ago when I went to that X-Dogs game. I was impressed with him. He's a fantastic young man, a guy who wants to learn the game. I believe he's actually talking about going to Virginia Beach too, so he definitely is moving up. He wants to be out there. That's a good player to have. As a guy like Ruby, he wants to learn and play.
Anybody going to Virginia Beach, I don't know who he's trying to play with, but he'd be a hell of a player to pick up, man. That's a wide receiver.
He's
Shout
a real
out to
gem.
Ruby.
Ruby is out there for you guys.
Nice.
I'm glad you got it. We'll just kind of give you a look.
What a dumbass.
So number 2 is the Warriors. I never thought I was going to say that, especially this. Kyle Marshall, yes, for special teams.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
We have to talk about him in that first game, and I got carried away in the defense. Yeah, 45 and a 46-yarder.
He drilled those kicks.
He did.
And I know this weekend meant a lot to him, man. Like, not to take it too personal, but shout out to Kyle, man. That dude balled out, put points on the board, and he kept his composure and booted the shit out of the ball. So shout out to Kyle, man. Keep doing your thing. We're glad to have you.
feel bad for him though. He keeps going to get his own balls. I feel like we need a guy back there.
Yeah, you need to send someone back there. I mean, I guess
But
Kyle
we're
was
not gonna let
carrying
you-
for the game, though.
Yeah, but still.
We're still not gonna let you kick a 67-yarder though, so that's out.
65. We'll think about it. We might call timeout.
65 would
Game
be one over the record. If you do get that exact one over the record, go for it because he would break a record the NFL has at 64.
No comment, man.
In the rain? Okay.
Just saying, we've been in the rain the whole time.
Yeah, it's been wet up there in Greencastle. We haven't had one nice day from the kick yet. You're right.
Yeah, totally.
I saw him kick an 85-yarder. I'm just fucking with you.
You're all making me wonder about that. I'm like, man, why am I not seeing this guy in county more? If he busted out a 100-yarder, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably have to quit the game after that because I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be insane.
I'd shoot myself in the head right on the field.
It gets no better, right? I mean, that's a great thing to witness, like 100
What have I been
yards.
doing my life?
But looking at number one, however, yeah, there's the team that's. You okay, Maddox?
What the hell's going on?
Have a drink, buddy. He's good. He's good. He's got some water. He's good.
Maddox is drunk, isn't he?
He can't see you yet, Maddox. You got to get in front of the camera, buddy.
Good try.
He's
Maddox
looking at
had an
you, but
absolute-
he's in front of the-
Maddox had a blast out there in that rain on the weekend. There he is.
He's always having a blast.
What's up,
out there.
boy?
He loves playing. But looking at this number one team and adrenaline rush, I know this is about the Warriors all night, but we can't forget about the team ahead of you right now. But the only team who's actually beaten you this month, and that is ADR. Yeah, those guys. Let me. I'm going to do a quick recap in this segment of what the scoring rankings looked like. The scoring offense and scoring defense. Looking at scoring the offense from the get-go, Railroaders were last 6.6, which actually is an improvement over what the Assassins were doing from last year. Knights were 6, 8.75. Warriors 10.5, but you guys have a completely different offense. And this month, actually, when I put it together in my head, right now, 8, 11, 60 divided by 4, you're averaging 15 points per game this month.
What the fuck?
Bro,
You got
mental
in your
math is
head?
my specialty back in the day. Mental math is my specialty.
Jesus. Where were you in school? I could have cheated off your ass.
Let's put it like this. You went from 1.5 points per game to 15.
That all day long.
1.5 in April, times that by 10, which is this month. Great numbers.
That's good.
Mhm. Hey, for the improvement, it's good. It doesn't sound good on paper, but it's a big time improvement from what it was looking like.
Yeah.
And to think, you're only 4 games into this team. This is not the same team it was a month ago, clearly.
You're right.
Ahead of you guys, however, Ruckus 10.83, Program 11.8 at number 3. Number 2 is Broad Axe at 14 points per game. ADR has 19.5 points per game more than Broad Axe up top. 19.5 more offensively. That's the
Well,
gap.
ADR is, they're the juggernaut of this league. It's just all you can say. We witnessed it firsthand. They beat our ass. At least we put points on the board. But it's how many points have they given up this year? 10.
2.5 points per game. You did go over the average. Kyle
That's
Marshall
right.
put you over the average.
Like I said, man. But ADR, shout out to them. They're just balling. They have playmakers at every single position. It's hard to stop. So
Yeah. And you look at the point differential, plus 31.
yeah, it's
What's the next one down?
Next one down is Program at plus 2.8.
shit.
After that is the Warriors minus 2.5.
Hey, I'll take it.
Oh boy.
That far behind program, at least.
Hey, let's just put it, the Brunswick game and the Rutgers game really helped you guys.
Yes, they did. We
So-
played phenomenal football, yeah.
And you're about to play Knights in program next week, which is going to be even more interesting to see. But
More phenomenal football.
but looking at ADR, they're number one. They're going to stay one for a bit. We're going to talk more on them when we hit June. They come back June 2nd. They will not be playing this week. However, who is playing, however, is, I said that twice, Red Knights and Ruckus is your 9 a.m. kickoff for this week. It'll be the 14th meeting between these squads. The Knights lead the series all time, 7-6-1. Ruckus, however, since 2017 leads the series 5-1-1. Knights were 6-1 prior to that 2017 spring game when the Ruckus beat them for the second time all time. With a win, they will finally tie the Knights for head-to-head. It's been almost 5 years of this game being played. And in those 5 years, this will be the 6th different field they've played each other against. 6. Marty Snook, South High, Ocean City in the tournament, Fairgrounds in the tournament, Northern Middle, Greencastle. 6 different fields, 15 games, 7-6-1. Is this a rivalry most in your opinion?
Sure. I mean,
It's pretty competitive. The 7-6-1. I know early on the Knights had the
7-6-1.
advantage.
You know, but for both squads, a lot of things have changed personnel wise. You know, the only real constant in this is Andy Hoffman and Dustin Mitchell and maybe a couple others. You know, James Scott. Andy might be the only one left from the Knights and Chad Wilson. There's probably maybe
Scunyon.
3 from each team. Scunyon is back. That's right. Scunyon has been on both sides of this, so it's you know, yeah, definitely a rivalry. That one, you want my prediction now, or?
We'll get to that in a moment. We're going to go through the schedule real quickly. Next one is 10:30. It's going to be Red Knights Warriors. This is weird to see. Number 6 Knights versus number 2, the Warriors. The number 2 Warriors. Unbelievable. The question is, though, can you guys finally beat the Knights?
Yeah.
30-6, 32-13, 13-0, 19-13, and twice last year. There's no score listed on the website, so I can't really reference it. But 6-0, you guys have already ended one losing streak to the program, and other than Ruckus, this is going to be interesting to see if you guys can finally take down the Red Knights after a long time coming. So we'll see how that one goes. Intriguing matchup between Knights and the Warriors. The next game, however, this game has not been played in 2 years, but we're finally going to get it. Broad Axe versus the program. The last time they played was in October of 2017. And all the things that have changed since between both of those squads has been remarkable. Yeah. It's going to be intriguing to see how much they've grown since that game. That was the season where Broad Axe won the championship and program went 3-8. Moats, I think you were on that squad, if I remember correctly.
I'm a cancer, man. I was on that squad.
Hey, that's not – the next season the Warriors won B bracket with you.
That's right. Yeah, I was on that squad. That was another one, you know, personnel for that season. We weren't sure who was coming out to play quarterback. Actually, we had Ian Fisher at quarterback back then, and dude's a hell of a quarterback with pads on, and, you know, the flag game's different. It's hell of a deep ball, but it's a totally different game. So, but yeah, personnel-wise, it's just kills every team. So,
For sure.
You know, disappointing year, but is what it is.
It'd be interesting to see, though, how much both sides have grown since that game. As we mentioned, 2 years almost since they played each other, which is absurd to hear about in this league where we see so many matchups so often, but they just weren't scheduled all last year. They never been to playoffs at any point in time. So we'll have that matchup for you. Broad Axe program, 12 o'clock. This next game is the game of the week. Number 3 program, number 2 Warriors. Program is going to want revenge. You guys know it. You guys know they want revenge after what happened 2 weeks ago. They were blindsided by you guys. I don't think they saw that game coming. They took you. I think they took you a little lighter than they expected.
Well, I mean, they may have, but at the same time, we're gonna smack you in the mouth playing D line. I just think they, on offense, we came out moving the ball, and that's what I don't think they were ready for. But
And that I think
again,
was the
we
thing. 'Cause, yeah,
stuck to our game plan, and we moved the ball, and defensively we shut them down. Like couldn't have played better ball. Absolutely shut them down.
and that's going to be the one thing to see whether or not you guys can duplicate that performance this week. Only a 2-week removal from that last game, so it's going to be interesting to see what the program picked up from. But they got to get through Broad X first, so we'll see how that first and second game goes for them. Speaking of Broad X, they're going to close our day at 3:00 with the final game against the Railroaders. This series is not close. 47-0, 58-0 last spring, 33-7 in the fall. You put the math in your head, you combine it, you're looking at a combined 138-7. That's the difference between Broad Axe and Brunswick in that series. So let's see if the Railroaders can finally get a win over Broad Axe. Just as you guys seem like you're getting your first wins over a lot of people. And let me see if I can predict. Let's see if you guys get your first win over the Red Knights, though. We'll get to that in predictions right about now. Starting out, Ruckus, Red Knights. Ross, what do you got?
That's an interesting game, actually. I'll go Ruckus.
Yeah, Ruckus?
Yeah, I'll go Ruckus.
What do you think is going to be the big difference in that game?
Ruckus is going to be looking to bounce back, obviously, from losing on.
Yeah.
Nobody likes losing on.
Oh, I can tell.
That makes it all that sweet, too. But I think they're going to be looking to bounce back from that. Bring out full squad. Obviously, it's not a doubleheader, so they can't use that excuse. So I think Ruckus.
They'll come out fresh, and I think coming out fresh will be beneficial for that offensive line. It'll allow them to be more alert and more awake for that game. I feel like this Knights defense was just gashed a week ago by ADR, and what was basically might as well have been their C team, I guess. And I feel like Steven Renner will be 100% on Sunday. He'll be ready to go. I feel like they're going to put up a show on that Knights secondary. I feel Andy will keep it close early on. The Knights did give him a fight last season when they played each other. But I do think in the end, Ruckus is going to get the victory. I'm going to go Ruckus in that one. Sean, what do you think?
Got to go Ruckus too. They're going to come out swinging. This is a rude awakening for them. This past week. So, they're pissed off. It was rough. They're going to come out pissed. I know they're going to get back to their game, and I think they win by 2 scores. As much as I love Andy and what they got going, it's just the Knights defense is just inexperienced, and I just think Ruckus takes it to him.
All right, so all three of us got Ruckus in this one. Obviously, you guys are not allowed to predict your own games because I feel like, gee, who are you going to pick? So the second game is going to be Warriors Red Knights. Personally, coming after that first game, I feel like the Red Knights are going to be already exhausted having played against a Ruckus defense that's ferocious. I feel like going against you guys who I know you guys have wanted the Red Knights for the longest time. Ross keeps told me for the longest time how much he wants to beat the Knights. I feel like with the way you guys have beaten program, the way you've beaten Ruckus, I think the streak finally is broken against the Red Knights.
We got robbed in that B bracket last year against them. So that's all I got to say.
I remember
their time's coming.
Right?
There was more than just that, but yes, that was.
Yeah, I remember that play specifically.
Yep.
Long run Brandon had, where it should have counted as 6, but there was that question. But
surprise.
So I understand that. I feel like the biggest difference in this matchup is going to come down to the trench war, which I feel like depending on how that Knights line goes after that first game, this could be bad. I feel like if you guys bring in the players you got and play it to the level you should be, this could become an ugly game early. I feel like Warriors get on it, and I feel like there could be a shutout in the making.
Well, I
Not
got to
good
give a
when they
shout out
do
to
that.
Chad Wilson. You know, Chad Wilson on their line. He
Yes. Chad is phenomenal.
experienced player, does his thing, and him and Andy. You know, Andy knows when the pressure's coming. He knows when to get rid of it. It'll be a good game. You know, not going to predict it, but it'll be a good game. Looking forward to the battle.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chad, man.
I just think as good as Chad is, I don't know if the Knights have the line depth to keep up in this one, especially playing a doubleheader. They got a young team with them too, a lot of younger guys there. How they hold up in that doubleheader is going to be a question. It'll be their second one this season, I believe. But this is a draw that's just not good. They had program for the second one, Warriors, and this one, not a good draw to have. I'm going Warriors over Knights. Going over to the next matchup now, the third game of the day is going to be Broadax program. Ross, who do you got?
Ooh, man.
Jay suggesting that even if it's going to California is a huge deal.
Man, I don't know, man.
You know that this is him really trying. He's making an effort.
I think so too. That's
gonna be a lot.
I kind of want to consider that like a co-game of the week because that feels like an underrated matchup. And yeah, the two teams haven't played each other in 2 years, and on top of that, it's gonna be a fresh game for everybody. How are you, buddy?
I had to go inside and put my phone on the charger.
Oh, I got you. You good? But continue on.
That one, I'm gonna go with program now.
Program.
Yup.
What's up?
Just because I can't explain it. It's gonna be that is an underrated matchup for sure.
Yeah, it's the one thing I haven't really heard much talk about, but I feel like it's gonna be a good game.
I just read Cato's comment.
Nice.
Had to wash my hair, man. Can't get my hair wet.
Yeah, Damian Coates says you guys getting smacked, according to him. 35-0.
And what did he predict last week? Did he play this week? I didn't see him.
That's funny. Oh man. What do you think, Sean? Who's got this game? Team Broadax and program.
I'm gonna go Broadax. I think again they're pissed and they've had some time to reflect on their loss. And you know they've got Clancy, the X Factor.
Oh my God, yeah.
The guy's a proven winner. Shouldn't be losing to teams like Ruckus. You know he's taking it personal, and I think he comes out and I don't know because program, you know, they didn't expect to lose either. So I think it'll be a pretty chippy game, but I think Broadax takes it by 10.
Broadax by 10.
I think it stays close up till halftime, but in the second half, I think Clancy just takes over.
That's kind of what I'm seeing. I feel like it's going to be a physical game early on. I feel like the program will keep Clancy at bay just a little bit early. But as it goes on, I feel like Clancy's mobility coupled with his arm, because that's the thing. He is the MVP of this offense by far. If you don't have him back there in that backfield, I feel like that team is not the same. I feel like it's just not the same squad, and I feel like with him there, they are one of the better teams, and I give them the advantage in this one because of him. I'm going to go Broadax by about a score. It'll come down to a late battle, but I feel like in the end it's going to be Broadax behind Clancy taking the victory. So Ross has program.
Yeah.
Moats, you and I got Broadax.
You guys on Broadax, right?
Yeah. Moving on to the final game, or the fourth game rather. Warriors program. We all know who you got. Who I got in this one?
Yeah, you got that.
I got Warriors.
You got Warriors, man?
There's my
All right.
boy.
Me personally, that doubleheader is going to kill you guys the way it's set up. Having that break in between is not favorable. However, program playing Broadax isn't favorable either. They had to play you guys after playing Brunswick that first time. Having to play Broadax is a way different story after playing you guys. And I feel like that's going to be a big factor in that game. I feel like that defense is still going to come out there. They're going to give you guys some problems on offense. But I feel like what it comes down to is, again, your all's defense. And what I watched in that first game was a program offense that was absolutely smothered, smashed in the smithereens. They just could not get anything going at all. The line was decimated. And I feel like the Warriors do it again on defense. And I feel like Snavely, if he just doesn't make any mistakes, because you got to watch the interception, the biggest thing he's going to cut down on. Maddox, you got to drink up, buddy. Need some water, poor kid. I feel like ultimately, in the end, the Warriors take it behind that dominant pass rush. I think the Warriors finished out 5-3 for this season, which is your all's best mark and what you probably should have been last spring. Great, a really good squad right now. I'm going to go Warriors. Moving on now to the final game. Broadax and Brunswick, fellas. On a count of three, who do we got? 1, 2, 3. Broadax.
Broadax.
Okay, so the Collins went Brunswick on this one.
Say anything.
Except Catherine. Catherine, who do you got? Do you got Broadax or Brunswick? All right, so 3-2 on this one.
Like you said, it's a double header, but
It is.
Broadax came off and played.
But it's Kevin Clancy versus Brunswick's defense, and I think I'm going to go with Kevin Clancy on this one.
Same old Broadax it used to be.
Now, if this
They used
was
to play first thing in the morning into drink Miller Lite the rest of the day.
back then, they were called Miller Lite. Fun fact for those who didn't know that. But I think Broadax takes this game simply because I think they're superior in the trenches. I feel like they're superior athletically. Brunswick, they got guys. They'll come out and give a fight. Cody said it himself. He'll be there on Sunday, so you're going to have some of that Spartans magic out there for Brunswick. But I feel like in the end,
Magic.
Broadax is just too good to lose that game. And even if they struggle early on, I'm going Broadax. You can't. Kevin Clancy will not lose to the Brunswick Railroaders.
If Brunswick wins this game, I will take the entire team to the bar.
Really?
Tabs on me.
Tabs on Moats. Okay, you hear
There you
that
go.
one. And I also heard Maddox. You say you're going Broadax now? No. Oh, okay. He said it. He was saying it while Moats was talking. I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Maddox is now on the Broadax side. So Ross, you're the only one in the house picking Brunswick. Peer pressure.
I'll stick with it. Why not?
All right.
I'm rooting for him, but
You're rooting for him. Good.
why not?
You're good. Yeah, you're a good man for that. I feel like Broadax takes it though.
Watch, Brunswick's going to come out here with God knows too much now. I'm going to get stuck with a $1,000 bar tab.
You're going to pay for the whole town at that rate, Moats. If they beat
God.
Broadax, you're paying for the whole town.
They'll have a parade and everything you have to pay for.
Hell yeah. We'll get hot air balloons and everything.
Definitely. Anyways, that's really about it, gentlemen, on the county side. Sean, thank you for joining us once again. We're always glad to have you on with us for predictions and everything else. I look forward to hopefully seeing you, if not on the field, but on the sideline Sunday for the Warriors.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Awesome. Glad to hear. Anything else you want to add, Sean?
No, just looking forward to getting back out there. You know, there's a lot of layoff after this week, so it's, everybody gets time to rest and get ready to roll into playoffs, man. Looking at Keystone, we're looking to bring home that trophy. If we bring everybody, I don't expect to not win it. Like that's got to be, it's got to come home with us. I know who we have. I know what we're capable of, and it's, what do you say? You just can't make any mistakes. Looking at County, we're got a lot of confidence. We just got to keep playing our game. But it's wide open. ADR is out in front by a mile, but the rest of the field could go any way between 2 and 7. There's not much difference, in my opinion. You got us ranked at 2, and we appreciate it, but we got to keep earning that spot. And I know Ruckus, Broadax, Program, all those guys, they're going to bring it. So it's, a lot of football left, man. Can't wait.
For certain. We're at the end of May now. June is looming, and I'm telling you, I'm looking ahead of June. And just to put this out there, this will be our final episode for 17 days. We will not be back until the 30th. When
What
we
are we
come
gonna
back,
do?
we're going to be, we're taking a few weeks off. We're going on vacation. It's been a nice, I said at the beginning of the episode, we've done more episodes in these last 2 months than we did all of last year total.
Well,
That
it's
is
getting
a-
out there, man. Like I told you, I've had people approach me that I've never met before saying, "Hey, you're on Blunt Talk." I was like, "Yeah, that's me." So you're getting exposure and you're doing a good thing for the sport. And I speak for everybody in this league, and we appreciate you, man. It's awesome.
Thank you, sir. And I appreciate all of you because this show is not possible without flag football and all of you guys. This show is not possible without that. The most important thing to me is not this show, but the show you guys put on the field every Saturday, every Sunday, every season. That to me is what makes this show great and what makes us great.
Definitely,
and I'm
man.
happy to keep doing it.
Everybody talks trash, in between those lines, but afterwards, it's all love, it's all family, and that's what's cool. That's how it should be with football. So it's old Damien, he never shuts up. I love everybody except Damien Coates. Stand with that. But yeah, it's awesome, man. You're doing a great thing for the sport, and we all appreciate it.
Thank you,
So,
Sean.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate all of you, and it's going to be rough not seeing you guys for a couple weeks on Blunt Talk, but when we return on May 30th, we got ourselves a show. Because June, if you guys thought May and April were good, wait till you see what's in store for June. We got the Keystone Championship. We got the Washington County Championship. We got Virginia Beach. What a month coming up that we got. But before we get to all that, we got May 18th, May 19th. We got Spartans Gators. We got Browns and Bees. We got Ruckus Red Knights. We got Warriors Red Knights. We got Broadax Program. We got Program Warriors. We got Brunswick Broadax. Flag football is here. We got 7 games left before the month's over, guys. Let's have some fun.
Oh yeah, it's wide open, man.
For sure. For Sean Motes and Ross Collins, I'm Joey Blaze. All of you have a wonderful night, and we'll see you on the field this weekend.
Peace.
Peace.